There is a general sense that, this is a time for the government to be spending on infrastructure. There is a national infrastructure pipeline. There are shovel-ready projects where the government can speed up implementation to be able to provide that job and income support to large sectors of the economy. Does that logically make sense to you, analytically make sense to you?
That makes a lot of sense, and we are doing our best. Actually, the finance minister has had 3 meetings with central public sector enterprises in terms of stepping up public sector enterprise capital expenditure. They are really going as fast as they can. In some cases, they've had difficulty with restarting because of health-related constraints in terms of getting workers onto the site and so on. So, no, but there we have pressed the accelerator to the floor as much as we can. But the engine transmission, even if you press the accelerator, the fuel isn't getting transmitted fully. But certainly that's something that we are doing. As far as the government is concerned, the National Highways Authority, railways, so capital expenditure is one of our priorities. It has the highest multiplier in terms of which part. So that's where, when I was speaking of reprioritization, we have ensured that budget availability is not a constraint on central government capital expenditure. Now, you can look at the numbers. There's no reduction in capital expenditure, but in Q1, you wouldn't see a massive increase either because there are constraints which are not cash. I mean, it's non-cash constraints. But in the Department of Expenditure, we are making sure that capital expenditure doesn't get delayed for want of cash or want of budgetary support. So that is a commitment. We agree with that part of what you're saying, that capital expenditure should be a priority, and we will try to ensure that budgetary constraints don't stand in the way. Central public sector enterprises have also been, pushed to maximize expenditure on shovel-ready or already being shoveled projects. The NIP is, again, we're trying hard to ground the projects that are not shovel-ready in the NIP. But I agree with you conceptually that is something we should do, and we will do our best. And if there's something more that we can do, I'm happy to hear what we can do.
Okay, so you said you were rationalizing some categories of expenditure. Very briefly, if you can tell us what kind of stuff this is, or where
there are some. I mean, we put about 40 ministries and departments on what we call Category C, which is only 15% of their budget per quarter, instead of 25%, which is, if you ignore seasonality, 25% is the simple norm. There is some seasonality, but 15% is well below 25%. So I give you some examples. They're not the financially very significant ones, but ones that quickly come to mind. Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Tourism. I mean, not exactly the ministries where we want to go all out and spend right now, because it doesn't have much of a multiplier, and the expenditure may not even be very productive at this time. So I'm giving you those as examples, but we've put 40 ministries that we see as low priority for the economy in the present context. I mean, priorities in today's emergency, these are not priority ministries. Similarly, we have some very, if you like, more pure research kind of research and development projects. They're all on the back burner now. No luxuries for this year. We want to spend on essentials. And a lot of these are import intensive. So we've also cut back on import intensive budgets. So we're trying to make sure that the money that we do have is directed towards A, capital expenditure because of its high multiplier, B, the essential welfare expenditure like Manrega, food, cash transfers, which you think should be higher, but we think are quite substantial. So, this is in a sense what we're trying to do.